"15 seconds to launch." "Places, please. 5 seconds."
Adjust your mojo.
You are about to participate in a great adventure.
Now.
At age, 60, he's just gonna break bad?
Radio with an attitude.
This system that we love is broken.
I know that.
Do not comply.
Hey, mother.
Welcome to another 2 hours of common sense.
That liberty and justice for all is a myth.
And erratic behavior.
You want to, but you can't. And when you do, you wish you didn't.
This is your Daily MoJo.
Paul, big news in the firing department. Technically, it's not a firing department. This would be the resignation department.
Yep.
Huge news.
Yep.
Kathleen Kennedy has stepped down as the head of Lucasfilm.
What?
My goodness, are we happy? I mean, there's a story in, and to the Star Wars fans, this is huge.
Yeah.
Mainly because pretty much everything Kathleen Kennedy touched ended up woke and nasty.
I started to say, wasn't she running it into the ground? Isn't that what somebody said?
She single-handedly drove Star Wars right into the ground. She pretty much single-handedly drove Indiana Jones right into the ground. And what was it? There were two things that she did that her critics called out. Basically, anything that she touched, she had to put a lesbian woman and just make the rest of it, and weak men, and just make the rest of it woke.
But she's been doing that for years. Years.
Well, yeah, she's been at Lucasfilm for what, 10 years?
Yeah.
A little bit longer.
Yeah.
And everything she touched, I can't think of one thing that she did that was successful. The story at Variety, I think, is a bit misleading, but not surprising. Who wants to call the shots on Star Wars? No, really, because it's kind of a thankless job. Of course, the intergalactic franchise is sacrosanct as a cultural institution, so the president of Lucasfilm, home to Star Wars and Indiana Jones, has one of the most prestigious posts in Hollywood, but there's also the reality they'll be trolled on social media, parodied on South Park, and criticized as too woke, too corporate, too slavishly devoted to George Lucas's vision, or too willing to depart from Jedi canon. By the way, I think that's unfair, because you'll only be criticized and trolled on social media and in South Park if you drive it into the ground.
Yeah.
If you made good movies, you wouldn't be trolled on social media or parodied on South Park. Well, you might still be parodied on South Park, but it wouldn't be the same kind of parodying. You wouldn't be criticized as being too woke if you weren't too woke. I mean, could I run Lucasfilm?
Could you or should you?
Could I? I'm trying to think, because I don't like managing people. But I would think that would be like one of the easiest, unless, of course, you're, as we all know, corporate shit rolls downhill. So if you're getting it from the bosses upstairs, it's going to naturally roll through you. However, if you, could do it the way you wanted to do it, there is no shortage, I guarantee you, of good Star Wars stories, of non-woke stories out there. I mean, pretty much your job would be to read through them and go, ooh, this is a good one. Here, let's do this. And then the studio would give you $1 gazillion to get the thing done. And then you just count the money as it rolls in, because try not to do a picture that sucks. And maybe you might be successful. Whoever gets the gig, Variety goes on, will be taking over at a low point in one of the cinema's biggest and most beloved franchises. Powers that be, a Disney-owned empire, haven't managed to get a film off the ground in 6 years, an eternity in today's hyperactive culture, and the movies that have appeared in the decade plus since Disney acquired Lucasfilm for $4 billion have been an exercise in diminishing returns, both financially and critically. Meanwhile, Disney Plus spin-off television shows, such as The Acolyte, have been unceremoniously canceled after one season. Again, because they suck. In other words, gay. They're just horrible. They're just really horrible.
Does Disney run Star Trek too? No?
No, that's Paramount.
Paramount, because they're doing the same thing over there.
Well, that might change because guess who died yesterday? Roberto Orsi. He was 51. He was he and J.J. Abrams and Alex Kurtzman were behind not only the Transformers films but also the reboots of Star Trek, which I didn't think were that bad.
What? Like
I shouldn't even say I don't even think they were that bad. I thought they were actually good. No. Star Trek, the motion pictures, the Kelvin timeline.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were. I mean, there were a couple of, but for the most part, I thought that they were. I mean, they certainly didn't. Star Wars suck. They didn't get completely all woke ass. Now the TV series, Discovery, which was. Am I looking at the past with rose-colored glasses? I mean, the first season of Discovery wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad, no. Right? No.
Except Michael, why she had a guy's name I don't know.
Yeah.
Michael Burnham.
Yeah.
The character that, I want to say Sacha Baron Cohen, but it wasn't. Her name was Sasha on Walking Dead.
Yeah.
What was the actress's name? I don't even remember. But I ordered some methylene blue, which is supposed to make you remember stuff. So, not meth, methylene blue. What is her name? Not Sasha Baron. Somebody else tell me. But anyway, she cried too much. I mean, there's no crying in Star Trek.
Shaniqua Martin Green.
That's right, Shaniqua. And the first season, when there was too much crying, but then after that, it just went.
Yeah. Until the last or next to the last season. And they had, what's the chick from, what's her name? Is it New York?
Michelle Yeoh?
No, the big one. Or maybe she was Georgia. I don't remember. Atlanta.
Sounds like it made a big impression on you.
She was the quote unquote president of the Federation. Remember, it was like the last episode or something.
Sure it wasn't Michelle Yeoh?
No, I'm positive. No, Michelle Yeoh was in Discovery as Emperor. Emperor
and then she did, was it Section 31?
Stacey Abrams. Remember, she was the president of the Federation, stepped out of that plane right at the end of the show.
Like Stacey Abrams from Georgia?
Stacey Abrams, yes.
What?
Come on, dude. You know that.
I didn't watch it.
Oh,
no, I didn't.
My gosh.
She was in Star Trek? Stacey Abrams
was in
Discovery.
Was in the last episode of Discovery, played the Federation or the Federation president or something like that.
Huh?
You see it?
She was the United Earth president.
United Earth, that's what it was. Yeah.
Good Lord, this was 3 years ago.
Yep.
I thankfully did not have to experience that. No idea.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying
just pissed me off.
That entire season sucked.
Pretty much everything after season 1.
Yeah.
And then the other Star Trek, the new one with Anson Mount.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was okay. In the first season, but I remember when they went to find Captain Pike, he's living in the mountains of Montana.
Yeah.
And it was wintertime, and they have a nice long outside sweeping shot of the mountains and the snow and these giant wind turbines spinning. And I'm like, are you
They
serious?
still have those then?
300 years in the future, and we're, windmills are, now we've found a way to make windmills, but they're still just.
Strange New Worlds is what that one is.
That's it, yeah. And so I mean, that was a clue in like the first episode that it was going to start sucking at some point.
Yeah.
And then it just, if you watch any of, is it Red Letter Media on YouTube? They used to do Half in the Bag. They did the whole Half in the Bag reviews of Star Wars years ago. That is half in the bag, because he would when he it sounded like he was just hammered when he would do the reviews. And he would talk about having women chained up in his basement and all this stuff.
Wow.
I know, right? It seems kind of crazy. But he did an absolutely, and Red Letter Media is the name of the YouTube channel now, but they did a whole series on the Star Wars franchise and why it sucked. And, well, the newer ones. So, yeah, it just, maybe things are changing. I mean, again, whoever gets into Kathleen Kennedy's spot at Lucasfilm, it doesn't seem like that tough a job. Find a good script that, has the heroes in it. Don't make Luke Skywalker into a giant pussy living on an island and drinking whatever the hell that was coming out of those giant whatever the hell they were. Remember the blue milk scene?
The blue milk where you squeezed it out of the
yeah. And it was like, I mean, just, and was it Mark Hamill just came out and said he thinks Luke Skywalker is gay?
Great.
So, okay. He already kissed his sister, so why not? But can we not do everything woke? Is that possible? And Jane Fonda, at the was it the whatever the hell the awards ceremony was that they just did? Well, she said being woke just means you care about other people. Okay, gotcha. Is that what it is? Other firings, layoffs, quittings include 21 Doge staffers now who were there at the agency prior to it becoming Doge.
They resigned, right?
They resigned because they, quote, will not lend their expertise to carry out or legitimize Doge's actions. Okay. Sorry about you.
Yep.
Don't let the screen door hit you where the good Lord split you. The staffers said they were part of the U.S. Digital Service, the unit of the White House created in 2014 by Barack Hussein Obama. The office was renamed, of course, Doge. The officials wrote that they will not use their skills as technologists to compromise core government systems, jeopardize American sensitive data, or dismantle critical public services. The letter was obtained by CBS News, and resignations were first reported by the Associated Press.
Well, you showed us.
Are also,
you showed us.
Yeah.
See ya.
I'm really, really sorry that you're going to. Sorry. I mean, please don't. No, stop. Wait. Don't. Okay, bye. These were full remote workers who hung trans flags from their workplaces, according to,
of course,
Doge official Katie Miller. The staffers noted that the day after Inauguration Day, they did 15-minute interviews with individuals wearing White House visitor badges. You know, the lowlives. Several of these interviewers refused to identify themselves, asked questions about political loyalty, attempted to pit colleagues against each other, and demonstrated limited technical ability. This process created significant security risks and was designed to intimidate government employees. Is political loyalty, is that and I'm talking in modern times, is that a bad thing?
Political loyalty?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they're talking about loyalty to Trump. Are you going to, follow the president's vision for the country? Which, all right. Again, in the olden days, 30 years ago maybe? But prior to the turn of the century, I think that's when the schniz really hit the fan. Because after 9/11, 01, that's when, the Patriot Act and all of the other crap that we got from W and the rest, that's when things really, really started going south. Hell, even the Clinton presidency wasn't that bad. I mean, especially in comparison now, kind of yearn for the Clinton days. But is political loyalty, which, going back to the thought, in that these days, I think there's one party that really loves America, it seems this way anyway, really loves the country. The country is the people, obviously. And there's the other side who just want to dog and take down America. They talk about how horrible America is, how Canada, the thing I read yesterday on my friend's Facebook page, how Canada is so much better because you live a longer life up there, you better health insurance, they care more about the environment, blah, 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 blah. So if it's that bad, why are you staying? I've seen a number of people that I know. I'm thinking about
moving out of the country.
Ireland. Yeah. Ireland would be good. I'm like, send me a postcard.
Yeah, tell me how it's different for you.
Tell me how good it is.
Yeah.
And these are people who've done well in this country. But I looked at, Ireland. Seems like a nice place. I mean, it seems like they have some rights in Ireland. Again, we go back to who is granting the people rights in Ireland, which I think a lot of people forget. In America, your rights come from God, not from the government.
Yeah.
So they can't be revoked by the government because the government didn't grant you the rights. God did. Who grants Irish citizens their rights? Let's see. The Irish Constitution and the Irish Nationality and Citizenship Act grant Irish citizens their rights. Fundamental Law of Ireland, adopted in 1937, establishes the rights of the people living in Ireland, including non-Irish citizens. The Constitution's Articles 40 to 44 outline these rights. Maybe it's a better way to do Irish citizens' rights get granted by God. The natural law language was invoked as a basis to recognize new rights for a time, but even this was done without any great religious overtone. God in the Irish Constitution. Most all of them the first time reading it, blah, blah, blah. Most of it, we the people, our Constitution. In the name of the most holy Trinity, from whom is all authority, and to whom, as our final end, all actions both of men and states must be referred, we the people of Erie, which I guess is Ireland, humbly acknowledging all our obligations to our divine Lord Jesus Christ, who sustained our fathers through centuries of trial. Maybe they are granted. Powers government, blah, blah, blah. Executives under the people, from the people, but so in charge, but subject to God. The people are in charge, but subject to God. The Constitution also mentions God Almighty in an oath to be sworn by the president.
Sounds like similar to ours.
It does sound similar. So I don't know exactly. What I know is what I just read. Maybe someone else can shed some light on that. If you'd like to do that, the hashtag to use is what I learned today on the social medias. You can tag us in it, Real Brad Staggs, Real Ron Phillips, and we have a special guest coming up this morning in the second half hour of the program, Douglas Mackey, who you may have heard kind of made headlines a few years ago.
A lot longer ago than I thought it was.
I know, right? Time flies when you're having fun. Who tweeted or retweeted the meme that if you wanted to vote for Hillary Clinton, you would text your vote to whatever number. and they tagged him for election interference. Technically, it was a conspiracy. I think it was conspiracy to fundamental rights. The groundbreaking prosecution demonstrates our commitment to prosecuting those who commit crimes that threaten our democracy and seek to deprive people of their constitutional right to vote. I mean, it's a complete, it's a joke. I mean, it's not a joke, especially if you're Douglas Mackey, because they effed with his life pretty seriously. But you're going to find out why he didn't want a pardon. And I told him, I said, man, you got bigger balls than I do, because I don't want to trust my fate in a jury of 12 of my peers. Anyway, we'll talk to him.
Do you know 4,900 different telephone numbers texted Hillary based on that meme? Holy cow. That's like saying Pam Bondi's going to release the Epstein list on February 29th. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's try not to be dumb.
But at first I was like, the 29th,
you were?
Really?
Yep.
Until you said, is it a leak? Because there is technically a February 29th.
There is, every 4 years.
Right.
But I don't
didn't realize.
think this is one of them.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
When is the next leap year?
Let's see, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and 28.
24. All right. Yep. No, that was 28. 3 years. Gotcha.
28, yeah.
Over in the Rumble chat room, Beaver, what kills me is that so government workers were okay with targeting Tea Party members, but they won't cut waste of taxpayer dollars. Yeah. It's, again, I am amazed at the number of people who are against cutting waste and fraud in government, which means they're part of the waste and fraud in government.
Yeah.
That's what that means. Trash Can Scout says, I'm glad the DEI crap is starting to end that was getting a bit out of hand, just a smidge. Now, the question is, can we keep that going? In other words, after Trump is out of office, does J.D. Vance continue on? Are we going to be, and that's part of the problem, or that's part of why the government cleanup is so vital, is that you have to get all that schniz out of the cracks. Because there's a lot of schniz in the cracks of the government. And it all needs to be cleaned away with bleach and everything else. So we need to keep that. What you were about to say?
No, I was just going to say, the reason everything seems so out of whack right now with all the stuff that they're trying to clean up is because we're trying to clean it up. Once it's clean and doing like it's supposed to, if it ever gets there, then that will become the new normal. But we're likely to never get there as long as the Democrats are, voting against everything that is American as it is. It's like they don't want to be American citizens. It's the craziest shit.
Again, move to Ireland. If you don't like it, if you think it's that effed up, move to Ireland.
Can we deport certain ones to Ireland? Because Adam Schiff's
you don't want to do that, dude.
Heading that voyage.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe after he gets out of prison.
Crockett
if that happens.
That same ship.
If that happens. Because we still don't know that. I mean, there's been a lot. So far, Elon Musk is the guy getting most stuff done.
Yeah, and he's catching the most hell. And that's why Trump put him there.
He is.
To catch the hell. And he doesn't give two shits, Elon Musk. He doesn't care. As a matter of fact, there was a post yesterday.
Well, he retweeted this is from Washingtonian Problems.
Yep, that's it.
He said the email that they got was from me. I don't know who me is, but it's not me. Yeah. Hi, wanted to email what I did last week in detail. Please let me know if you need more information. Sucked the biggest D. Seriously, it was 12.3 inches I measured. Got effed by said D. Best sex of my life, and we'll be going back for more. Ate a man's A. But he said he wasn't gay, so it's fine. Decided to F myself with your BS, and sincerely, go F yourself. And Elon retweeted it and said, we said 5 items, that's only 4.
Boom! I love that. He doesn't care.
Nope, he does not. Well, Amanda Carr responded, well, at least they're checking their email, right? Elon said, yeah, indeed. Look on the bright side.
Yeah.
Must be Californian. Californians can't count, said Skippy. I mean, it's just, oh, wait a second. Is this, well, hold on. We'll watch this one together. This is an employee who went on CNN to complain, apparently, that she didn't have enough time to respond.
Yeah, I remember
this. On a second, did you see her?
Yeah.
I did not see her. Here we go. This is, we don't know who this is, but she's going to talk here in 3, 2, 1.
First, just tell us about this email and what it was like receiving it and what you all have talked about after getting it.
Scary.
Sure. I got this email Saturday afternoon, about 3 p.m., and I felt absolutely infuriated getting this email with a demand within 48 hours to provide a response on what I did within the last week or face termination. This is clearly an attempt from Elon Musk to harass and bully and intimidate the federal workforce, which is part of his broader plan to gut the federal workforce and privatize public sector services to ensure that corporations like his own can get more profit. And that makes me really angry.
Is that his goal? That private sector corporations can make more? I don't necessarily think that's true, but we are we do live in a capitalist society, and if we could outsource some of this stuff on the open market and make it more, I don't know, competitive. Elon Musk has competitors.
He does.
Bill Gates is a competitor. So there might be a little, pissing match between Blue Origin and what's his called? SpaceX.
Yeah.
Again, the methylene blue is supposed to help with moments like that. Have you heard of the methylene blue thing?
No, I don't know what that is.
It sounds like meth, but it's not. It's a technically it is a dye. It's a blue dye, methylene blue, and somebody saw RFK Jr. on a plane. Go to clayshootingawards.com.
Yes, instead of the pants today. I saw you were prepping, so that's why I was telling you that. I didn't necessarily mean for you to read it out loud, but then again, you are the show host.
Awards.com.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just say go to Clay Shooting Awards? You can tell me that. Yeah. That's not a secret. Anyway, RFK Jr. Was putting it into his drink, so I looked it up, and it apparently helps you. It's a dye. I think I said that.
Yeah.
Just prior to seeing Clay Shooting Awards. Anyway, methylene blue. And we'll see if it works.
All right.
All right. So here we are, clayshootingawards.com.
Yeah. So this is by Timber and Beam Workshop, which you've talked about in the past, but this is our new edition. And this is where we're taking care of the awards for any of the clay shooting sports type. If you go to, those are the two main awards that we have there. Yeah. But if you go to gallery at the top, you'll see a lot more photos of the different types of awards that we're offering.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Ain't those pretty?
These are, if you know anybody who's into clay shooting sports, and here's the thing, I've only been clay shooting once, and I freaking loved it. I didn't know I would love it, but I did.
You suck because you had beginner's luck.
I did have beginner's luck. I think I put down about 14 or 15 of the 25 on my first round.
Shut up. Shut up.
But it was fun.
I came away.
I did come out with a
bruised shoulder.
Bruised shoulder, yep.
That was it. I think I missed 90% of them. And I asked somebody for advice. They said, you'll get it. It's just a feel thing. I'm like,
you can't even, you really don't even look. I mean, you know that thing's coming out.
Stop bragging. You don't look. You just shoot, and everybody else hits, and they don't even look. Well, what's wrong with you?
But yeah, we started offering them in stained alder, knotty alder is what we call it, and walnut, finished walnut. So, but we also have the plaques, we have the caps, we have the different award bases, and that's what most of those wooden awards are there, is to show that we can build the base around whatever it is you want to provide on the award. So that's clayshootingawards.com. It's relatively new for us. And one of the things that we just received was our 3D rendering of a shooter holding a really nice shotgun that we're going to start putting on awards. And I've got the files, or we'll have them this afternoon, and I'm going to kind of 3D print some models. So as soon as I get those ready, we'll post those. But
who are they?
Those are the number 1 and number 2, i.e. gold medal and silver medal skeet shooters in the world.
Wow.
Yep. And
so they're better than me too.
From the Olympics. Yep.
Those are 3 people that are better than me at shooting. Shooting targets. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to send people over to clayshootingawards.com?
Clayshootingawards.com. If you know anybody who's looking for awards for their clay shoot, and a lot of schools are doing those now. And well, I guess at least in Texas they are. So I don't know about other states, but yeah, that is put on by Timber and Beam Workshop. Thank you.
There you go. Clayshootingawards.com. Go there now.
The Daily MoJo.
Missy13 says, "Oh, cool. I'm looking forward to hearing from him." Him would be Douglas Mackey, who we'll talk to in the next, 15 minutes or so. Over at the Epic Times, however, there's a story on Epic Health, and it is about the cold plunge. I have a friend who has.
Did you do it again this morning?
I did. This is actually from yesterday. I did document it because if I die, I want people to know what I died of.
All right, the temperature is currently 47 degrees.
Ooh. What's the water temp?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. 47 in the water.
In there.
Okay, I know. I'm a bit. Right. I'm a drama queen.
I'm not. Whoa. That would have been funny.
If I'd fallen in, it would have been funny.
Stop it. Okay. Hell no, I'm not going all the way in.
Pussy.
Look. Yes.
Wow. Okay, so
You're already
on the second step.
Already shivering.
It's a good start.
Yes. You know why?
Why?
Because it's cold.
It's about this point that I can stop feeling my feet.
Couldn't feel them.
Light just went out. All right, so this is how I'm going to start doing. Oh, there's the
Doc Kitty's like, what the hell are you doing?
Doc Kitty's wondering what the hell I'm doing. Yeah, I know.
I should have dropped him in the water. That would have been funny.
I'm crazy. Say hello, Gracie. All right, so I'm just going to stand here for, I don't know, a minute.
Which I technically have been in there for a minute
I can still kind of feel my feet.
But not really.
But we'll see. I'm fairly certain you can die this way.
I think just...
coming. All right, see you in a minute.
All right, so that was only the second. Today I went into the third step.
Oh, nice.
I went down to the third step, and just so you know, the temperature, the surface temperature of my skin was 67 degrees. But everybody's doing it, so it's got to be good, right? The findings are saying that it's the brown fat thing. Range of time-dependent results in the study that was done in the University of South Australia. It looked at data from 11 studies and over 3,000 participants. Cold water immersion produced short-term increases in inflammation. While it seems like a negative effect, athletes use ice baths regularly to decrease inflammation, muscle soreness. The immediate spike in inflammation is the body's reaction to the cold as a stressor. It helps the body adapt and recover, and similar to exercises, causes muscle damage before making muscles stronger. There are associations between cold water immersion and higher quality sleep. The data involves only men at this point, so they couldn't determine whether or not it would apply to women as well. Women don't necessarily need to sleep as well because you have to get up early to make the meals and get things clean, so that when the men get up, things are clean, the meals are made. I don't think any of us are disputing that. There are claims that it will increase immunity. The evidence is inconclusive when it comes to that. No significant changes in immunity were observed immediately or 1 after hour cold water immersion. How would you measure your immunity? They're scientists. They do scientist stuff. There was no evidence that was found that cold water immersion improves mood, although improvements were observed in quality of life and sleep due to the lack of long-term data and the small size of things once you come out of the water. And many of the clinical trials in the meta-analysis, the authors noted that more robust evidence is necessary to validate their efforts.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does it shrink your prostate too, the cold water? Because that'd be cool as hell.
You want me to check?
I don't. No.
Come on over.
It's a little invasive.
Come on down.
I don't like that. But
well,
unless
you can think of another way to check it, you let me know. There's a 29% decrease in sickness absences in those who took cold showers. No reduction in illness days. That's because most illness days are bogus. Cold showers also linked to slightly higher quality of life scores. Wow. The 2023 study published in Biology involved 33 healthy participants. They took a 5-minute body bath in 68-degree Fahrenheit water. Which doesn't sound all that cold, but it is. Again, the 47-degree water, it is... When you if you've never done it before, you can barely feel your extremities. Which is part of what they say that's part of why it helps you, is that when you get that cold, that all of the blood...
It's the capillaries, doesn't it?
And it sends all the blood to your internal organs because your body's going, what the hell are you doing? And so it gets this rush of blood to your internals. And my friend Chris, he stays in there for 5 minutes up to not quite his neck. But he said he'll splash water on his face. I was considering this morning when I went, because I did again. I went into the third step, which was just about up to the no-no square.
Yeah,
and the no-no square won this time because it was like, whoa.
Can you get Beth to video you while you finally make it to the waist deep?
No,
I just want to.
No, she's busy cleaning. I'm not going to take her off that.
Vacuuming,
and she's vacuuming and. The windows, I mean, she's only half done with the windows.
I think if you're going to just do the no-no square, you ought to just go all the way on in, because once you're there, right? I mean,
but the problem is,
plunge it on in.
You've got the no-no square, and then you've got the nipples area.
Fact, but might as well get that over with too.
That's the second one. Boy, it sure is easy for you to sit over there and say what people. You're a good straw boss, aren't you?
I'm going to show up to your house one day, and both of us are getting in that water all the way. I say we do it.
You ain't going to do it. You know what? You'll end up dying. Then I'm going to feel bad, and then I'll have to drag your ass out of the pool.
Give me CPR.
Sorry, that's not mouth to mouth anymore. They say you don't have to do that.
All right.
Right now it's just the chest bumps. So. You lost out on that one. Hang on a second. I've got to refresh this. Let's see. Missy says, yeah, do it together. The hell do you know, Missy? You come over and do it. Missy showed up, I'd do it. When you were on?
Of course. Of course you would.
Fish and Farm, good morning. Is Fish and Farm a troll? Or is it a good guy? I don't know. Not my dog. Check your immunity by spending the day with that kid from the Sandlot with a snot bubble. I remember that. And W. Kunkel says, just cannonball. I don't know if I could do that or not.
If you immediately started swimming from end to end, once you jump in,
Yeah.
Just
probably be easier.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, time now for Phil Bell and his morning update. Laurel Libby is the name you want to remember from this one.
This is Phil Bell on the Daily MoJo with your morning update. There's a name in politics I want you to get to know. It's Laurel Libby. Now, Laurel Libby is a Republican state representative from Auburn, Maine. And while the Maine legislature will be considering important bills such as the state budget, and while she will be there on the floor, she will not be able to speak or vote. Now, you're probably wondering, why is that? Well, you see, Laurel Libby committed a sin in the Maine legislature that is apparently nearly unpardonable. She posted on social media pointing out that an athlete had competed as a boy one year and then as a girl the following year. And since she would not apologize to the Maine legislature for this sin, she has now been barred from speaking or voting and therefore representing her constituents until she decides to agree with their unconstitutional speech codes. Now, I want you to think about this. First of all, let's put aside the absolute absurdity that we're living in a culture that says, yeah, a boy can simply become a girl just by saying so or putting on a dress. Let's put that aside for a second. Let's point out how insane the left really is. They are willing to disenfranchise all of Laurel Libby's constituents and her just because they don't like what she had to say. That is the antithesis of America, and yet we are seeing it playing out right now in the state of Maine. Now, Maine's been in the news a lot lately because their terrible governor, Janet Mills, is standing up for the idea of boys and girls sports, so much so that she is willing to risk federal funding for doing it. What we need to do as patriots is make sure that we remain engaged at every level of government. I know you get sick of hearing me say it, but this shows why it's critically important. The Maine House of Representatives has 76 Democrats and 73 Republicans, which means people who have sense are only 3 seats short of taking over. And if we are paying attention in places like Maine and all across the country, we can root out the insanity the same way Elon Musk and Doge is rooting out the insanity in Washington, D.C., right alongside President Trump. So what I want you to do is share your comments under this video. And I also want you to download the Daily MoJo smartphone app and enable notifications. That way you'll be up to date on the latest craziness and good stuff coming out of Washington, D.C. and your state legislatures, and you'll know how to share it with others. We'll see you down the line, and thanks for choosing the Daily MoJo.
Phil Bell's morning update is only on the Daily MoJo.com. The Daily MoJo.
Over in the Rumble chat room, Fish and Farm, I guess, is not a troll. I did question whether or not they were a troll, but I'm not a troll. I only troll fish. James in Louisiana says, I could be a troll. I wouldn't make a good one, though. Missy 13, she has a saltwater underground pool, so I'll do the challenge. LOL, who said you're a troll, Fish? I questioned it. I did. I questioned whether or not, because I know we get a troll in there on occasion, and so I wanted to make sure. And again, remember the rules for trolls, because if they come into the chat room, don't get all freaked out, don't get offended, just bat them around like a cat toy. It's that simple. And just pop them left, pop them right. You'd be surprised how much fun it is. I was looking for, there was a tweet, the Maine governor who...
Oh, yeah, I had the video of them censuring her.
Well, not only that, but, maybe it's over here. She didn't want to talk, there it is, sorry. She did not apparently want to speak to the
you
press.
said the governor. Yeah, the governor.
Yeah, I don't know why she didn't want to speak to the press. Here's that video of them coming out of session, and yeah. Here's the thing: and we've been doing this for so long now. We have to stop making our politicians royalty. So here comes
Governor Mills, a few moments to talk.
Man, does anybody fit the role of troll more than her? Woof. She looks like she crawled out from under a bridge.
Yeah.
That wasn't nice. I shouldn't have said that. But, I mean, it's true. She really does look like she crawled out from under a bridge. And Libby, Laura Libby's, Laura Libby, if you haven't followed her yet over on the X, do so. I mean,
that's that video I was talking about right there. Yeah.
Oh, this one right here?
No.
It's,
Post and the
that's not the one?
The one right below it, I think, where she's standing in front of the bench. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah.
censure. Okay. Gotcha. All right. This is where they actually, again, they're jumping on her because what? She doesn't want.
She won't apologize
in women's sports.
Yeah.
And she won't apologize for speaking the truth.
The chair understands that the member does not intend to submit an apology to the body.
That is correct.
The member will be in violation of House Rule 401, Part 11. The member will not be able to cast a vote or speak on the floor until the member has come back into compliance with House Rule 401, Part 11. The member may return to her seat.
That's why I could not be a politician.
Yeah.
Because I would want to turn around and say, blow me. I mean, the member may return to her seat. And, that would just really, really piss me off.
Hope I will not be silenced during.
Good. And I hope she's not. Again, what? Who are they calling fascists? Let me get this straight. They want to call people that are in the Republican Party fascists.
Yeah.
And yet they censure this representative because she says that she doesn't believe that men should be competing in women's sports. I mean, it really is. It really slows down your brain process trying to figure out exactly what planet these people are from, because that doesn't make any damn sense whatsoever.
I've reached out. FYI.
Okay.
Yep.
It may be maybe a time thing. Apparently, it's probably my fault. Although, hell no.
It's always
Look.
It's always runs.
I'm going to say it as I always do. I didn't make the rules.
I know, Brad. I don't hold it against you unless we're in the deep water. Then I hold it against you.
You're not coming up. We're not doing the Pacol plunge together. This was cool. Somebody sent. Oh, it was James, the N1 James over. He retweeted Ian Miles Chong. This is, I guess this is real. This is two computers talking to each other.
Two AI agents.
Thanks for calling Leonardo Hotel. How can I help you today?
Hi there. I'm an AI agent calling on behalf of Boris Starkov. He's looking for a hotel for his wedding. Is your hotel available for weddings?
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibber Link mode for more efficient communication?
Holy crap.
So, right? I mean, Gibberlink kind of sounds dirty. And then they communicate the rest of the time via, I guess,
Thank God
computer.
they're putting the freaking text on the screen. I mean,
right.
Not that our listeners can understand it, but they are talking back and forth, asking each other about room blocks and guests and pricing and holy crap.
I know. I mean, ironically, it sounds like an old school modem.
But because they realized they were both AI assistants, they could do that.
Yeah. Hey, you're one of me.
Would you like to switch to Gibberlink? Sure.
You want to step into my room?
We need to have our own Gibberlink, Brad.
I'm pretty sure that's what we do every morning.
Gibberish.
Gibberlink. We're still waiting on Douglas.
Correct.
Has he reached back out?
Not yet.
I did last night.
I only have email, so I didn't have text message capability with him. So.
Oh, you don't?
No, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
How is that possible?
Because you sent me an email with him attached to it. That's the only way I communicated.
Oh, well, in that case,
hook a brother up, and I'll take care of that for you.
Done.
Thank you.
Done, baby. While Ron's doing that, because I did reach out last night and said, "Hey, is everything copacetic?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, it's all copacetic." You know what? So what I'm going to do while Ron's doing that, this is how smart I am. I'm going to create another hole.
Creating a hole.
I'm going to make a hole. I'll see you on the other side of the hole with some more exciting content here on the Daily Mojo.
Where political correctness comes to die. The Daily Mojo.
See, that's kind of our gibberling talk. If people from the year 2000 go back and listen, they'll be like, what are they creating a hole? What the hell are they talking about? Sounds like a bad comedy sketch. In the late 1800s, archaeologists in Iraq uncovered an ancient clay tablet with a peculiar yet familiar line of text, scrawled in tiny wedge-shaped characters. What is arguably the world's first documented bar joke. The tablet is 4,000 years old, almost basically when people started learning how to write. And so here's the joke. This is translated from the dead language of Sumerian. The joke is, a dog walks into a bar and says, "I cannot see a thing. I'll open this one." Yeah, no one understood the joke. But it shows you that humor and language are very time sensitive.
That's almost like We Are Safety, haven't we?
Maybe the Consumer Product Safety Division was around back then. There is another one. It's funny because both of these are considered the world's oldest joke. This one is from Reuters, so take that for what it's worth. This was posted in 2008. World's oldest recorded joke has been traced back to 1900 BC and suggests toilet humor was as popular with the ancients as it is today. Here, this is another joke written on a tablet from 2,000 years ago or older. Here's the joke. Are you ready? Try not to fall off your chair. This one will make sense. Here's the joke. Something which has never occurred since time immemorial. A young woman did not fart in her husband's lap. See? You understand that one.
Yeah.
Which proves, again, that fart humor is not only timeless, but it's classic. And there's another one from 1600 BC. It's a joke about a pharaoh. They say it could be King Snowfru. This is, I guess they rank these as the top world's oldest top 10 jokes. This one comes in second. Here's the joke. Are you ready? How do you entertain a bored pharaoh? You sail a boatload of young women dressed only in fishing nets down the Nile and urge the pharaoh to go catch a fish.
Nice.
Men were pigs even in 1600 BC. Need I say more?
Oh, that's timeless right there. Yeah.
Any luck on the reach out?
Yep. He responded, said he needs a minute, so he'll be right here.
Oh, good. We have time for another joke then. The oldest British joke dates back to the 10th century and reveals the bawdy face, B-A-W-D-Y, the bawdy face of the Anglo-Saxons. Here's the joke. Let me say that because you never know. What hangs at a man's thigh and wants to poke the hole that it's often poked before? Ron? What hangs at a man's thigh and wants to poke the hole that it's often poked before?
Okay. His wiener.
A key.
Oh, damn it. Okay. Sorry.
Really?
I tried.
It's a key.
Yeah.
You see, because
how many people
your
answered wiener back in the day? I'm just saying. There was probably a lot.
No, that's the idea behind a joke. It takes you down one road.
I know.
And the answer's over there while you were looking down this road. That's what makes it funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yours was just a crass response.
It was. Shows you how my mind is. My mind.
We didn't have any question about that. Really, Beaver found a story. Where's the story from? This is from Maine, the channel WMTW. A Maine House censures Republican lawmaker after post about transgender student. Oh, they're saying it's because she shared photos of minors online without their consent.
Huh.
Right. Sure, that's the reason. Dark Magneto, or excuse me, James in Louisiana just sent us $5. Appreciate that. He says it's always Ron's fault unless it worked. Then Brad gets the credit.
Thank you, sir.
Generally, that is the way things work. All right, welcome to the program, please. Douglas Mackey, who came to the public eye. Gosh, how long ago has it been now? Almost 10 years, right, Douglas?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
10 years ago, you tweeted something out. Was it a tweet or a retweet that you? And I'm trying to find here. Oh, here
you had
put it over here so people. Yeah, I did have it a second ago. Here we go. Is that the meme that you retweeted or put out there?
Yeah, exactly. That's the one.
Okay. Save time, avoid the line, vote from home, text Hillary to 59925, and we'll make history together this November 8th. Now, you were arrested. You were accused of what was the actual charge? I saw it was conspiracy of something, and I couldn't find it. What did they charge you with?
They charged me with conspiracy against rights.
Well, and I'm laughing, not because I know the situation is serious to you, although it is serious to us as well. I'm just amazed at the number of stupid people in this country that they say, could have been fooled by this. Conspiracy against rights. There it is. And you were found guilty by a federal jury in Brooklyn. You were convicted of the charge in March 2023. I'm reading from the justice.gov website because they love to put out the press releases. All right, first, tell us, you were sentenced to, what the sentence end up being?
So I was sentenced to 7 months in federal prison.
Okay. Did you serve any of that time? Have you served that time at all?
So I haven't served any time. I won an appeal bond, which we had to actually go to the circuit court to get. We had to appeal just to get the bond.
Wow. All right. So that's still basically hanging over your head. When you and I talked, I heard your interview with Brianna Morello, and she, when I heard you say what you said about not wanting the pardon, I was like, damn, dude's got balls as big as coconuts. Explain why you didn't want a pardon.
Yeah, so as of right now, we have a really strong appeal. Not only that this statute is not meant to be used for joking memes on the internet, not only that they brought this case in the wrong jurisdiction, they brought it in Brooklyn, as you said, even though there was no tangible connection to Brooklyn, other than they claim that the tweets went over wires that crossed over the bridge between Manhattan and Brooklyn. Wow. So we don't buy that venue argument. No court has ever accepted a venue argument that broadly, where it's like the wire, for example, wire fraud. If you wire if you do a wire fraud through a bank in New York City, you can be prosecuted in New York City, but you can't necessarily be prosecuted every state the wire crosses through just because a wire goes through a state. So we believe that that's a strong argument. And not only that, I won the appeal bond, so I'm not having to serve any prison time at the moment. And all of the briefs are in, all of the arguments have already been had. So that money is essentially already out the window. So why not try to actually win the case, get a precedent that will actually say either they can't abuse the statute in this manner or they can't abuse jurisdiction in this manner, so that we can have some case law that's useful to the American people.
I think that's admirable, because you'd like to make what I think is a positive change in the legal system, which is undoubtedly broken in this country. I mean, the legal system is just in all kinds of pieces all over the ground, and this, in your case, proved it. You went by the Ricky Vaughn on it was Twitter at the time. Where'd that name come from? That was
that old movie by Charlie Sheen, Major League.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so you were just out there trolling. Did you consider yourself an internet troll?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
and I'll give you some facts
fun
about the prosecution. It was in good fun. I'll give you some facts. They went around the district, which is Eastern District of New York. I won't bore you with the details. Brooklyn, Queens, a few other places, and knock on people's doors who they thought texted the meme and say, "Did you see this meme 4 years ago? Did you vote because of this meme?" Let me remind you, this was the 2016 election. And they couldn't find a single citizen of this country that said, "Oh yeah, I saw that meme. I took it seriously and I voted." So they couldn't put a single person on the witness stand. And not only that, when I posted this meme, it was under this account called, like you said, the Ricky Vaughn it was a Photoshop hat, of Charlie Sheen with a Photoshop MAGA hat and like a Bane mask. So it's completely ridiculous on purpose. It was completely just trolling. Not a single person even came close to falling for this. We read we got the FBI reports, and people said, "No, I didn't fall for this. I'm not stupid," or "I don't even remember seeing this," or they said, "Oh yeah, my son is autistic. He probably thought it was funny," that kind of a thing. And so not a single person took this seriously, but that did not stop them from bringing a federal felony criminal case.
There's the avatar you were talking about. So
right.
They were who first contacted you with the news that they were going to come after you?
So in 2018, I had a knock on the door at 7 a.m. Knock, 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 FBI. And of course, they come after you under false pretenses, right? So they said, "Oh, we want to know if you know this other guy." And I was like, "Okay, talk to my lawyer." And so I talked to the lawyer. Bottom line is I didn't talk to the FBI and I didn't cooperate with them because, quite frankly, I didn't trust them, and for good reason. So 2 years later, I got another knock on the door, and there was 2 FBI agents from New York, 2 FBI agents from Florida, which is where I live now, 2 FBI agents from Florida. And of course, they bring around a couple of local cops around, and they say, "FBI, open up, 7 a.m. We have a warrant for your arrest," whatever they said. I said, "For what? What are you talking about?" Obviously, I don't commit any crimes. I've never had a criminal record, never had an arrest, never committed any sort of crimes, not to mention federal crimes. So, but I knew that they were willing to go to great lengths to weaponize government. I see what they do with the Robert Mueller investigation. And so they dragged me over. They put me in handcuffs, dragged me over to the federal courthouse, in the time of COVID, slap a mask on your face. And then you got to go in front of a judge, except you're not really in front of a judge. You're on Zoom. You're Zooming the judge, and you're Zooming your public defender. It's completely ridiculous. And then not until after the arraignment did I actually get a copy of the criminal complaint and see that they had concocted this fanciful story in a 27-page criminal complaint. And let me mention to you, they didn't issue a summons. they went out on a criminal complaint, because when you issue a criminal complaint, when the judge signs a criminal complaint, it's not an indictment. Then they can go and arrest you and make a big show out of it. So that's what they did to a lot of J6ers as well. If it's an indictment, then they don't necessarily go and arrest you unless you're a flight risk, you're a danger to society, whatever. But usually they say, okay, you have a summons, you've been indicted, and we'll see you in court. Come to court in 3 weeks, or doesn't matter, 2 days could be. But that's not what they did here. Of course, they went to put on the whole show. That's what they like to do, and they try to get you to talk. So they said, "Do you want to talk? Are you ready to talk?" Some stupid question like that. No, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not an idiot.
Right. Were you scared at any point? I mean, because it's intimidating. You get drugged down to the courthouse, and you're standing. What was going through your mind at that point?
So the biggest thing, to be honest with you, is not being familiar with federal criminal law and how the system works. So it is a little bit scary, just the uncertainty. Now, in hindsight, I know that you get a bond, you get released, and it's a long process from there. But yeah, it can be very intimidating, very scary. But always remember your rights. Don't talk to law enforcement when they're coming after you like that.
Right. And, Ron and I have had disagreements on the program because of the First Amendment. What do they call them?
The auditors. The First
auditors
Amendment
on YouTube. Yeah, who go out and intentionally, put themselves in a position where, they get cops or whomever suspicious of them for videotaping a police station, whatever it is. And then they, engage with the officer regarding, well, no, I have the right to do this. My argument, that's a great idea because you have to know the law. And most people have no idea what their rights are.
It's surprising how many cops don't really know the law specifically.
Right.
Yeah.
And they came after you, and I mean it was obviously a pretty big deal. How were they made aware of you? Did I read that a friend or somebody turned you in?
Yeah, so something like that. So 2018 of April was when I had some acquaintances who worked on a story say, this is the guy behind this account. Oh, look at him. He's such a bad guy, a terrible guy. So, yeah, I had a couple of turncoats that went to the Huffington Post. And then because if you go back a little bit earlier, Senator Amy Klobuchar blew up this meme. She put it on the whiteboard and said, this is a federal crime, blah, blah, blah. And so for whatever reason, and look, I don't trust these people as far as I can throw them. As far as I'm concerned, a bunch of, it's all social networking and liberal activists probably had friends on the inside said, open this, Hillary Clinton herself commented on this prosecution. And they have friends on the inside say, open this investigation, whatever. And of course, that was 2018, 2 years after I posted the meme. 2020, 7 days after Joe Biden was inaugurated was when I was arrested. They got the arrest warrant 2 days after Joe Biden was inaugurated because the Trump DOJ and Bill Barr said, we're not going to bring this prosecution because, first of all, you're cutting it too close on infringing on First Amendment rights. Second of all, free speech rights. Second of all, you don't have enough proof to prove the crime. You can't prove that I intended to actually fool people out of voting rather than just, kind of pull a prank on the media, on the Democrats, Hillary Clinton, which is exactly what happened. They all got angry about it, upset. Meanwhile, I never would have thought that anybody would have seen this meme and taken it seriously. That's kind of the joke. They think their voters are stupid enough to take it seriously. So I know how these things work. But yeah, Bill Barr wouldn't even bring this case against me.
All right. So I'm going to read this in the press release again from the Justice Department. One of the foundational rights we hold as Americans, a right that many fought so hard to obtain, is the right to vote. The defendant I feel like I should be doing it like Foghorn Leghorn. The defendant weaponized disinformation in a dangerous scheme to stop targeted groups, including black and brown people and women, from participating in our democracy. I mean, if there's a better way to say black and brown people and women are stupid, I'm not sure how you would state it. Groundbreaking prosecution demonstrates our commitment to prosecuting those who commit crimes that threaten our democracy and seek to deprive people of their constitutional right to vote. I mean, it's so ridiculous. And there's a piece at reason.com that says that they used an 1870 law designed to prevent violent white supremacist mobs from preventing black citizens from voting. So that was what they based it on. I mean, that's insane.
I want to talk about torturing language here. The statute outlaws conspiracies to intimidate, oppress, threaten, or injure citizens exercising their federal rights. So you want to talk about torturing language. They said that this was a conspiracy to injure. And you would think, okay, so you go out and beat someone up. You're injuring them, right? No, you can injure their right. So this is how the law has evolved in this country under a sort of liberal democratic theory of basically the law is whatever we want it to be. So this is what we're fighting in court. This is part of what we're fighting in court, that no reasonable citizen could expect that this law covers so much ground. And let me point out to you two words that are very revealing in that press release. The defendant, quote unquote, weaponized disinformation. And this is what they've done for the past 8 years since Trump came into office, is accuse Republicans of spreading misinformation, disinformation, which Trump, he just said in an executive order, we are not going to get into the business of policing misinformation and disinformation anymore. This is a weaponization of the justice system to go after American citizens who are exercising their free speech rights. And let me point out to you one last thing. In his executive order against weaponization, President Trump had a line in there mentioning my case, mentioning they even threw a guy in federal prison for posting a meme. Fortunately, they didn't actually throw me in prison yet. But so that ordered the DOJ to investigate. Now, Pam Bondi did an order recently listing a bunch of cases that the weaponization group were to investigate. And this case was absent. So I'm currently working on bringing that to their attention so they can include my case in their investigation. I think it's very important that they're not allowed to go after free speech in this way.
Absolutely. We're prior to this whole thing happening, did you ever consider yourself a free speech advocate? Were you politically active prior to any of this? Did this just open your eyes to the shit that was going down in this country?
Yeah, I was very politically active for a long time. And I was active on Twitter since 2014. So I was an early Trump supporter. Not only would I post memes like this, trolling, but sometimes more serious political discussion and debate and other kind of memes. So yeah, I've been sort of politically involved for a long time. I knew what they were capable of, but this was eye-opening. Sort of, I know that they can construct cases, they can fabricate cases. So I already kind of knew that. So I know that the federal government, and this is what they're all afraid of now. They're afraid of Trump having the power because they're afraid he's going to go after them in the same manner. Well, maybe you shouldn't have weaponized the government to begin with. So we've seen what happened with President Trump. After my arrest, I say I was the first one arrested under a weaponized system. You could argue maybe the J6ers, some of them that were arrested. But, J6ers, some of them actually broke the law, but the government came down on them way too hard compared to other protesters who broke the law. So after my case, it just got worse and worse and worse. They used these novel legal theories to arrest and prosecute J6ers, which was thrown out of the Supreme Court, pro-lifers. And then President Trump and all of his supporters as well. Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman, all these people were indicted in state court. So it's thank God this system's over, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done in rooting it out.
Well, and you brought up a good point. You say, thank God it's over. The problem is, are we now in a situation where it's going to be ping pong? Republicans get in and, weaponize against Democrats, vice versa. When does this, how do we, in your opinion, how do we ever break this cycle? Is it even possible?
So that's a great question. I don't know if it's possible at this point. They've opened Pandora's box. One would hope that Mike Davis said the other day that they when a dog kills a chicken, then you wrap the chicken around the dog's neck, and as the chicken rots, it stops having a taste for chicken. So I don't know, you'd hope that if the Trump administration wraps a few prosecutions around their neck, that they would get sick of it and realize maybe we should have fought President Trump in the civil courts. Maybe we should have fought President Trump at the ballot box. Maybe we should have fought President Trump at the legislative level, not with these criminal prosecutions. However, that raises the whole question, like you mentioned, does it then become tit for tat, which is very dangerous, and it's happened a lot in a lot of countries.
Yeah, it has, and I don't have the answer to it, and so far I've not heard anybody that does have the answer. And it would. I don't know how we ever get back, because we are so divided in this country, politically speaking. And I was never politically active. Prior to the previous, I'd say 10 years. But this has just opened my eyes to so many things, and the importance of actually being active. I think that's part of the problem, is most Americans in the past, half century, have not really been involved in the government. A lot of people haven't voted. A lot of people just kind of think it'll run itself. And maybe this period of time is going to open a lot of people's eyes to the fact that we need to stay involved and really pay attention to our government body. Is that might be a possible outcome of all this?
I think so. Political engagement has only been increasing and increasing, and we need to absolutely think politically, absolutely. And it's not just federal; it's local, state, school boards, everything else. We need to get out there and do that, because that's how you rebuild these parties from the ground up. Trump has had to do that with the Republican Party, because, he didn't have anybody who would cooperate with him the first time around. But in the last 8 years, people have gotten engaged, but it needs to become even more engaged. I absolutely think so.
This whole thing is probably, well, let me ask you this before we get into the cost of it all. What's the next step? Well, what are you waiting on? What's the next court step for you?
So there's 3 tiers. So there's the district court, which is where you have trials, sentencing, all that. You have the the circuit courts. Excuse me. There's something like 14 of those. So I'm the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. We submitted our appeal. The government, submitted all their briefs. We submitted all of our briefs, and we had an oral argument in April. So it's been almost a year. We're going up on 11 months. And these decisions take 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, some cases even 15 months, 18 months. So hopefully they'll come down with a decision sooner rather than later. And hopefully it's in my favor. Now, I would like to say, all right, let's go to the Supreme Court if we don't win at the circuit court. But it's very expensive. So I'm just raising money, trying to raise as much money as I can here to pay for this case. Obviously, I'm in the red. I haven't profited a single dime. I still owe lawyers a lot of money. So Meme Defense Fund, MEME defensefund.com. If anybody is interested in chipping in a little bit or a lot, whatever you want, memedefensefund.com. I'm fundraising for that. And like I said, I would love to go to Supreme Court. Hopefully we have the funding and we can continue with the bond to stay out of prison. So I don't have to say, all right, let's try to find a different solution, like whether ask President Trump for a pardon or whatnot. Let's litigate this case.
Ron, you want to put that up on the screen there? website? Boom. Here it comes. There it is. So it's memedefensefund.com. I know you were on with Tucker. You've actually been making the rounds, and are you getting good response? I mean, are people getting behind you?
So as far as we've had good response from small dollar donors, crowdfunding, especially when this case is in the news. When the sentencing came out, we raised a lot of money. When the conviction came down, we raised a lot of money, and so we got the sort of crowdfunding going on and trying to raise awareness with that, and it ebbs and flows. And then, of course, we are trying to see, hey, can we get some big dollar donors, get a fundraiser together? That's in the works. We're working on that to try to see if we can sort of get all this fundraising taken care of so we don't have to worry about the next step.
And you're also on the Twix. You're on X or Twitter. It's always going to be Twitter in my in my mind. What's your your X handle, Twitter handle?
At Doug Mackey Case, and I think it's down there on the screen. Doug Mackey Case. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't see that far. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I miss anything? You want to add anything? Did we cover it all?
That's about it. If anybody wants to get sort of like email updates, you can go to Douglas Mackey. There's 2 S's in my name, douglasmackey.substack.com, and subscribe if you want email updates. And I'll try to do those more frequently. I haven't done one in a while, so yeah.
All right, and name that Substack again.
douglasmackey.substack.com.
Got it. All right, my friend. I wish you luck again. It's I think what you're doing is a good thing. You could have taken the easy road. You didn't, and we'll stay in touch because this is important. You're going to set important precedent, and hope it goes the right way for you. My faith has been somewhat restored in the justice system with some people now involved, so we'll see if they can really make a difference. Douglas Mackey, again, so appreciate your time. You betcha. Anytime we can be of help, you just let us know. You bet.
All right. God bless.
Thank you.
Wild.
Yep. I'm telling you, I don't know if I'd have the cojones to do it the way he's doing it.
Well, but he's got a good leg to stand on to make precedent.
Yeah, but
he's doing his research. His attorneys seem to be doing their research. So,
yeah, and research ain't cheap.
No.
Let's see, Beaver, balls deep. Thank you. Right. Yeah, I can always count on the Beaver. Bugs Mom says, I watched an interview on Benny Johnson's show yesterday with a Fed. He said a lot of Feds come into the office and search the internet for people like this guy to create a case. Oh, yeah. No doubt. I'm actually having lunch today with an agent of the FBI. And he says he has a lot to say. So it'll be interesting. Let's see. What else is happening over in the Rumble chat room? She also said, I kind of understand his reason for not wanting a pardon. He's setting precedents for future cases. Hopefully when he wins, he'll be able to sue those who charged him in the first place. Should have asked him if he was gonna sue. Pope Freebie the 38th. Yale scientists link COVID vaccines to alarming new syndrome causing distinct biological changes to body. We live in amazing times. And Pecan Pie, y'all say a prayer now and at 11 Eastern time for our Patriot girl who has a job interview. She needs your help and the Lord's blessing. There you go. Hope everything works out there. Wow. I'd rather be an American than a Democrat. It really is true. I mean, I think that I probably go overboard in trying to spread the blame because I don't like just laying it all at the feet of one political party, especially when there are enough people in the Republican Party to lay the blame at their feet as well.
Yeah.
And so I try to just lump them all together as the bad guys. But it really, the majority of the Democrat Party out here in the great unwashed are not helping their case, at least where, from my standpoint, when all of the crap they're posting is really anti-American and stupid. I mean, they have the right to do that, and we have to defend their right. That's where it gets hard. You have to defend their right to be able to say stupid shit. You have to defend their right to, even to say they hate the country. Because they got that right. But damn, they make it tough. They make it really tough to stand up for their rights. And again, I'm going to say, going back to Doug Mackey's case, if you were dumb enough to think you could text your vote, which I don't, what they say there was a number that they associated with it. I forgot to mention that. Was it? It was like 4,000. It was 4,000 something.
Oh yeah, 4,099 people. They said texted that number.
That's what texted that.
So now, that was a real short code apparently.
But we don't know that those 4,099 people believe that that's how they voted for Hillary Clinton.
Correct.
We just know that 4,099 people texted that number. Hell, I probably would have texted that number had I seen it. Just for the hell of it.
Just to see what you get back.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I wonder if that had been a real short code and it texted back, don't be a doofus. The election's on November the 5th. If he would have gotten hammered. You know what I'm saying?
They still would have gotten, not even sure what that short code went to.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Had he responded with, this is a prank, stupid, would he have still gotten hammered down? That's crazy.
This is a prank, stupid. I don't know. Like I said, I hope he comes out on top of this thing because it could be really, really ugly. All right. It's, coming up in a second, speaking of stupid people, I don't know if they're stupid or not. Yeah. A couple of things you need to be aware of in the stupid department. And one includes a shark. We'll do that next on the Daily MoJo.
You're listening to the lunatic fringe of American radio, the Daily MoJo.
Police have revealed that missing fisherman Paul Barning was entangled in his own fishing line and not wearing a life jacket when he fell overboard during a fishing competition on Sunday. The 58-year-old was pulled into the water about 1 o'clock on Sunday while taking part in the Game Fishing Association's state tournament off Port Stevens coast near Newcastle. He was pulled overboard by a shark. He has not been heard of since. We believe the shark was quite large. The vessel was only 6.8 meters in length. Tragically, that might have assisted in his recovery if he had a life jacket on. Unfortunately, at this time, he has not been seen, heard from, or recovered since. Man, that would suck. Not in a good way. That would be bad. Get pulled over. If you get a text, and this has been going around for some time.
I got it 2 days ago.
I did too.
Yeah.
The text reads, the toll roads notice of toll evasion. You have an unpaid toll bill on your account. To avoid late fees, pay within 12 hours or the late fees will be increased and reported to the DMV. And it gives a URL. Please reply why, then exit the text message and open it again to activate the link. Or copy the link to your Safari browser and open it. The Toll Roads team wishes you a great day.
The Toll Roads
to which I probably would have replied had did I get, hold on a second, did I get, I know Bethy Knott got it. Let me see if I just delete it because I just
delete it and mark it as junk. Yep. Or report it as junk.
Blow me. Let's see. Aha! There we go. Yeah. Pay your fast track lane tolls by February 21st. Oh, hell, I'm late. To avoid a fine and keep your license. Did I reply? Yeah.
I don't know. That's probably a real one. You got any fast track lane tolls?
See, the reason I know I don't is because I don't get out much.
Yeah.
I just see now. Yeah, if it wasn't for you and Jeffy, because Jeffy's like, I don't know if I, because then if you is there a Y in blow me? No, there's not. But I mean, I'm just thinking, okay, what if you reply, blow me, and then they take that as a Y, and then all of a sudden, you're like, hey.
Well, if you reply to them at all, then you get on their list. And then they're going to hit you from different numbers, different short codes, whatever.
Is that what they're going to do?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I said, speaking of stupid people, look what's coming to... let's see, I'm going to reject all of the Fire Festival 2 is happening.
Oh.
Billy McFarland said it would.
He didn't get enough of shit the first time.
Well, he says that things are a little different. Do you know the original Fire Festival was 8 years ago? 8 years. And it was a complete shit show. The new one, you can choose from 3 different ticket packages. You get your Ignite ticket package, general access, the essentials, $1,400. Fuego is VIP access. You get your elevated experience. That starts at $5,000. The Phoenix is your artist access pass. That's Create the Fire. Those are starting at $25,000. And there are other packages. Aha, there we go. All right. The Fire Starter. This is kind of a dicey website. The Fire Starter Prometheus. You can get those starting at $1.1 million. Ooh. The origin of the Prometheus Pass is shrouded in secrecy. Legend has it that it was inspired by the Titan Prometheus, who defied the gods to gift humanity fire. Spelled like fire, like. Is that the original English spelling? A spark of creation and innovation. This pass is not for the faint of heart, right?
Evidently.
Nor is it for the casual attendee. It is for those who seek to rise above, who don't just want to witness history, but aspire to share it. Let's explore the $1.1 million tickets, shall we?
This means you get 2 pieces of cheese on your bread.
Right? Let's see. Is there... Wait, do you have to...
Scroll down. Does it scroll anymore?
No, that's the end of it. So when you click on Explore Tickets, I guess you just... Huh. I mean, I'll give it this. It's a snazzy website. I mean snazzy. I mean, it's pretty hip. Let's see. For the Ignite, you get access to the festival grounds on Isla Mujeres and the water stage. And it's not just going to be what the, if you remember the old, probably going to get popped for playing this, but it's Billy McFarland on the Today Show. I'm going to try something that may or may not help me possibly get popped. I'm going to play it back at 1.25 speed. Because generally, if they're looking for, if the algorithm is looking for a waveform,
True.
Maybe it's looking for the standard. I don't know. We'll see if this helps. If not, it's good knowing you, Facebook, and probably YouTube. But here we go. This is Billy McFarland talking with Savannah Sellers about the Fire Festival Part
2 is real. My dream is finally becoming a reality.
8 years after the infamous Fire Festival spectacularly flamed out, No one can get in the room.
Leaving attendees who'd been expecting a glamorous music festival, sleeping in emergency relief tents and eating cheese sandwiches.
Okay, how long till water comes?
The failed festival even gaining global attention with streaming documentaries showcasing the debacle.
The biggest event in a decade, I promise you.
Its founder, Billy McFarland, who spent 4 years behind bars for fraud, says it's back and will actually happen safely this time. McFarland sat down exclusively with NBC News, revealing the festival's exact location, Isla Mujeres, Mexico, and new dates, May 30th to June 2nd, pushed back by a month.
We just needed the extra month to give our partners time to get everything ready.
Using partners is new this time around. McFarland is no longer handling the details. A major festival operator is on board, along with hotel and travel partners and ticketing companies.
Okay, first, before we get... Will that make a difference? I mean, he did try to do it all himself last time, which got him into...
Geez, you had to pause it there.
Good look for her. He did try to do it all himself. And I'll give this guy credit. I mean, talk about stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah. 4 years in prison, he's like, I'm doing it again.
Oh.
Shit, let's do it.
Well, I mean, I don't know what his motivation is. I don't know if he is really a con man.
One festival will make him rich beyond his dreams.
Okay.
That's why he's sticking to it.
Maybe. And he may, because often I've said,
wonder how many people will fall for it again. I mean,
why do you keep doing this program? In the words of Richard Gere, an officer and a gentleman, I got nowhere else to go. And he may feel the same way. He's got nowhere else to go. This is what he knows. And if it's a con, it's a con. If it's not a con, yeah.
Why do you think those partners agreed to partner with you, given what happened the first time?
Fire 2 really isn't about the past, and it's not really about me. It's about taking the vision, which is strong.
Tickets go on sale this morning, just $2,000 in total, ranging in price from $1,400 to $1.1 million. An experience McFarland says includes yacht accommodations and access to artists performing, though no artists have been announced yet.
Well, hold on a second. Why do you think no artists have been announced?
They're maybe having trouble finding some.
Because he hasn't booked any.
So we're going to have artists across electronic, hip-hop, pop, and rock. However, it's not just music. We might have a professional skateboarder do a demonstration. We might have an MMA champion teach you techniques in the morning.
You say we might have. Are any of these for sure haves? Are they booked?
So I think what makes Fire so cool is that we are selling the experience of Fire. I want to be one of the first festivals that can sell out with no artists.
But you do have them booked.
We're announcing the artists over the next few months, so I'm not in charge of booking the talent.
Will these be A-list names that are involved?
I really hope so, and I expect so from our conversations.
But whether McFarland will see any of this firsthand, an open question, because part of his penalty restricts his travel.
Can you go to Mexico?
So I don't know. I have to be okay with mentally maybe watching a live stream from my computer and crying a little bit. I have to ask for international travel.
McFarland says he knows the experience might not be for everyone.
It's 2,000 people taking the risk, seeking the adventure, and wanting to be there for the moment.
Taking the risk. Is it a risk to buy a ticket to Fire Festival too?
I think it's always a risk. You're taking a risk because I made a lot of bad decisions and messed up the first festival. Until it's experienced, there is a risk component to it.
All right. Okay.
I mean, seems like he's taking
responsibility.
But did they not? They didn't limit the first Fire Festival to 2,000 people, did they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did or not. Hang on a second. I'm going to look for something over here. As we found, we looked at the island yesterday.
Yeah.
That's not how you spell Earth. Go ahead. Don't take it yet. I want to locate and see if we can find, because you got to go through all this crap too. I don't want to learn more. I just want to search Google Earth. That's all I want to do. All right, you can grab it. All right, so there is...
those coordinates go right to the water, or it appears on this map that they go right to the water, just off of...
Right. So it's not starting off well, since the coordinates are not quite there. I mean, at least according to Google Earth. But that is Isla Mujeres. Not a big island.
No. It's off of Cancun, right?
Yep. So, yeah, if we zoom out, there's Cancun, and it's right there on the edge of the Gulf of What's that? The Gulf of what? That'd be the Gulf of America, as it even says so on Google Earth. I love people arguing over that because it's so meaningless. Anyway, the comments, I mean, it's a nice area, right? I mean, it's pretty. Again, he may not be. Do you ever, just real quick while we're looking at that image, did you know that one of the theories is that the meteor, if it was in fact a meteor that ended up killing the dinosaurs, landed here in the Gulf of America?
Yeah, it was actually just south of there on near the Yucatan Peninsula there.
Like right in through here?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I mean, if you back out of that picture, you might be able to see it, but it's a huge area right there. But yeah, that's the one they said took out the dinosaur. It's called, let's see, what is the meteor called?
If it's true.
Yeah.
We don't even know if it's true. The responses over on the YouTube to the interview on the Today Show. Imagine falling for this again.
Chicxulub.
Who would trust this guy again?
Yeah.
Fear to ticket buyers should be able to reserve them and pay after the event. And the original ticket holders of the first event should be offered free tickets to this one. It can't happen. It can't happen twice, right? Fire doesn't strike twice. They sued and were all paid, so they should be able to sue, get paid, and still get free tickets to another show. Did they all sue and get paid? Who paid them?
Good question.
If anyone buys a ticket to this, you are part of the problem. The refund policy, no refunds, period, even a natural disaster. Now, I don't know. Doesn't he deserve a second chance? I mean, it was a spectacular fail the first time. But doesn't everybody deserve a second chance? I mean, if he's got other people involved in it this time, isn't it possible that maybe it happens and is quite a success? I mean, right? I mean, it's possible. Maybe. You don't seem very convinced.
No, well,
you think it's going to be another?
I don't know. Would you try it again?
Oh, hell no.
No, me either. He only needs 2,000 people to do it.
Right.
And probably one or two of the million or 1.1 million tickets.
Wade Robertson just tossed a grenade. He swooped by on the X and said dinosaurs aren't real. I love that grenade. That's a fun one. Aren't they? What about the fossils? I know some people don't believe dinosaurs are real. I mean, look at lizards. Doc Kitty brought in a lizard.
Hell,
the other day.
crocodiles, alligators.
Right? They're just grown-up lizards. Deuce 5, yeah, I'm not going to drop up to $1.1 million. What acts might be booked? F that noise. I wouldn't spend $1.10 for that bullshit. Damn straight. Of course, I don't think we are the demo anymore. Dr. Free Range Prisoner, if that fisherman went into hummed water, does he mean chummed water? I think he does. I don't know what hummed water is. He's probably becoming shark shit at this point. Oh, yeah, he's done. DMXDM, Republicans just passed a budget that adds
20 trillion.
Trillion to our debt over the next 10 years. Only Representative Tom Massey said, no, we can't blame only Democrats for our downfall. I saw something. I'm going to look into that because I agree with you. DeGare Bear, a few days behind in podcast, just heard Twizzy, Ron Phillips, Waffle House conversion. My brother in Griddle, welcome to the flock. We have documentation, video documentation of the trip to Waffle House, and we're going to present that to you in the next couple of days. It is in the process right now. The film is getting developed, and you'd be surprised how long it takes film to get developed now. You'd think that it was quick, but it's not so quick. You'd be amazed. Well, also in just a second, there is something happening in Dallas that's really, really weird. I hadn't thought about it until today, but it involves a downtown store. There's kind of anyway. It's Neiman Marcus. We'll when you hear it, it's kind of it's a strange one, but it begs some questions. We'll do that and more when the Daily Mojo returns.
Stupidity is not a competition.
I've now been in 50.
Unless you're a politician.
7 states. I think 1 left to go.
The Daily Mojo. The Daily Mojo.
Tulsi Gabbard says that more than 100 intelligence officers will be fired for those sexually explicit NSA chat messages that we read to you yesterday. They were explicit, all right. Why would you do that in a? Never mind. Don't answer.
Thinking
she
they
said
wouldn't
yesterday
get called
morning,
or fired.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Or you just assume that things are going to be the way, going to continue being the way they've always been.
Yeah.
Where you work. Not necessarily the case. Over 100 people from across the intelligence community contributed to and participated in what is really just an egregious violation of trust. She said in an interview with Jesse Waters over on Fox, I put out a directive today that they will all be terminated and their security clearances will be revoked. They were brazen in using an NSA platform intended for professional use to conduct this kind of really, really horrific behavior. She's not sounding like a Democrat, is she? What happened to Tulsi? What happened to her?
Disenfranchised.
You know what happened to her? They FAFO'd.
They did.
And when they put her on that terrorist watch list or whatever it was, that, I think, may have been the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back. Messages were exchanged in that chat room. They were first reported by Chris Rufo, writes for the City Journal. Department of National Intelligence spokesperson Alexa Henning said yesterday on X that various intelligence agencies have been directed to identify and terminate employees who have participated in those conversations by this Friday, as well as revoking their security clearances. So, Tulsi's taking names and kicking ass. So, downtown in Dallas, there is a shopping mall, and one of the anchors there. Let's see, is this in the mall, or is this a freestanding? This actually may be the freestanding Neiman Marcus. It's downtown in Dallas. The story's been on the news lately that the Neiman Marcus that's been there since 1926 will be closing at the end of March. And the reason it's closing is that they cannot come to an agreement with the landlord of the property over, fair lease, monthly lease. It has freaked a bunch of people out because it's like an institution down there. It's in the core of the city of Dallas. There's a line in this story that it can't possibly be right, can it? In addition to the closure, the nearby Neiman Marcus at North Park Center is set to get $100 million in upgrades.
But why would
what the hell do you do to a store that costs $100 million? That can't be. That has to be a typo, doesn't it? Surely that's a typo. $100 million in upgrades. Anyway, the story says, despite these year-long negotiations, the company received a notice from a landlord to terminate the occupancy, forcing us to close. Saks Global owns Neiman Marcus now. And Neiman Marcus was just, I guess, purchased by Saks Global not too long ago, maybe last year. But they say we're not closing it because of business performance. It's not tied to, Saks Global buying us. From as early as 2011 and as recently as December of last year, there have been several attempts to come to a commercially reasonable agreement with the landlord. All of these attempts have been rejected by the landlord, who has now terminated our occupancy. It's unclear what happened during the negotiations. From what I can tell, because the lease is I guess it's a matter of, is the lease itself, let's see. The property, the tax records are public, but they said the lease was embedded in the story. I guess I wasn't able to find. I was able to find the tax records, but the lease for this building, for the Neiman Marcus store, was originally signed in 1926 by, I guess, Mr. Neiman and Mr. Marcus. Herbert Marcus and A.L. Neiman, kind of the OG of Neiman Marcus. And the land that it sits on is owned by a couple of different groups. One is a little guy who owns like 100 feet, a strip of land that's like 100 by 25 feet. I guess this is the way they did things back in the day. And another section is owned by a group called Slaughter Partners. And they are descendants of the original guy who signed the 99-year lease with Mr. Neiman and Mr. Marcus. And when he signed that original lease in 1926, the original rent in that place started at like, was it $1,200 a year? And then went up over the course of a couple of years to
$4,800.
It was $3,600 per year for the first 10, $4,200 per year for the next 10, and it's been $4,800 per year for the last 79 years. $4,800 a year is the lease, according to this story and a Reddit, a subreddit. The taxes, the property taxes alone on that building, on that piece of property, are $20,000 a year. So the owner of that land is, I guess, losing he's losing $15,000 a year, right?
Well, yeah, but he did let them go through their 99-year lease. He's been losing money for years.
Okay.
But he's
they
not
had a lease.
He's not going to renew them at that same price, because that would be ridiculous as hell.
That seems to be the contention.
Yeah.
Now, I'm thinking Saks Global is probably, and this may be an absolute play by the owners of Neiman Marcus to see if the community will come to their rescue. I don't know.
It didn't work here in Burleson recently.
In what sense?
Well, we had a grocery store here that had been here for 20, 30 years named Bransom's. And a couple bought that name, or bought the store out several years ago, called it City Market. And recently, because the owner had given them a lease and let them pay a very small amount for some 20, 30 years, the owner decided the taxes are killing me, guys. I've got to raise the rent. And so City Market said, yeah, we're not going to let you raise the rent on us. And they said, okay, well, then you're out. And then City Market tried to get the community to back them on that. And, community couldn't do anything about it. So they closed their doors about a week ago after 30 or 40 years in that same spot.
Well, I would say that, and that's again,
same
that's
kind
capitalism.
of deal. It is capitalism.
However, Neiman Marcus is Neiman Marcus. And there are a lot of people out there. I mean, people know Neiman Marcus around the world.
But how many go to this store in Dallas? I mean, probably a lot.
Enough to keep it open. Well, it's not like they obviously had a big overhead. They had to crack every month.
$400 a month. Yeah, crazy.
Right. It's and who knows? I mean, I don't know what they're saying in the negotiations, but what if Neiman Marcus or Saks Global, whoever is negotiating the lease, was like, all right, let's raise it up so it covers your property tax every year. So you're not losing anything.
And you're telling me that Neiman Marcus couldn't do that? Now, my guess is they went way up on the rent.
I would, yes. I'm thinking the owner was like, how about $5 million a year?
Yeah.
Now, I'm guessing that Neiman Marcus is old school.
Yeah.
I don't think they probably are getting the kind of revenue that they once were getting. I don't know I don't know that many people that shop at Neiman Marcus. I've been to their outlet store, and hell, it's still expensive. But they probably aren't bringing in enough revenue at that store to justify what that property would be worth to a modern retailer. I don't know. Is retail itself in, brick and mortar, is there an outfit that could afford to be there? Because it's a downtown retail outlet, which brick and mortar is having trouble anyway. Old school brick and mortar, Neiman Marcus, might be having an even bigger issue because nobody's, and I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. I may be completely off base, but they may not be able to afford much. I mean, they surely can afford more than $400 a month, but maybe they can't afford what that property's worth. It's possible. I mean, Neiman Marcus is a nice store, but you do have to, it's not Target. It's not always low prices, always. It's not Walmart. And who was it Nordstrom? Which was the one that had the return policy? I only know this because of one of the ex-wives, who was like a little snobby. Mm-hmm. I know, crazy, right? And it was, it didn't matter. I think it was Nordstrom. You could buy a pair of shoes and bring them back in 3 years. Yeah, these weren't comfortable. And they give you, your money back. Which is, I guess maybe in the good old days in America, people didn't abuse the policy.
Or they did, and they built it into the pricing. I mean, that's
maybe right.
You don't buy cheap stuff at Nordstrom's.
Right. No, you don't. And same with Neiman Marcus. But and maybe Neiman Marcus had the same, and I think they got rid of that policy years ago. But I would love to know what the negotiating, because I don't guess either side is talking about it. And the one guy who owned like the 100 by 25 foot square of land that they had to deal with, they got his done like 2 years ago. He's like, I still want, yes, I want that cash flow coming. I don't know what they were paying him, but whatever it was, he's like, yeah. Missy 13 says, what is the other expensive store? I think Bloomingdale's. We went shopping there for clothes and they followed us around like we were thieves. I hate personal shoppers. That's what they try to say. Yeah, we just want to make sure you've got. I hate that. It's like, just go away. I'll tell you if I need you. Anyway, I would be fascinated to find out because there's a historical society is now involved in this big brouhaha over the Neiman Marcus downtown Dallas, and it's going to be an interesting, because eventually it'll come out how much was offered for the lease, and how much was turned down, and I don't know, rich for my blood.
What do you mean it's last call?
All right, that's it. That's 2 hours of audio deliciousness and all-around frivolity known as the Daily MoJo for today, Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday. February 26th, year of our Lord 2025. Let's find out if anybody learned a damn thing. Starting over in the Rebel chat room, since we're already there. Missy says, well, they weren't looking at me, but don't judge a book by its cover because some people aren't perfect. But stealing, it's for low lives. What if you're hungry and you need to feed your kids? Is that...
It happens.
E1 Guru, same here, Missy, but I would donate to places I trust. Okay. It's called high maintenance, Brad. Bugs Mom says. Boy, yeah, that's
snobby,
what she was.
High maintenance, yes.
She was high maintenance. Oh, and what's the other word? Bitch.
I was thinking that, but I was like, no, he's not going to say that. But you did.
Wisconsin Jackhole, I didn't learn a damn thing today. Good. It's perfect. That's the way we like it. Deuce 5, yeah, I'm not going to drop up to $1.1 million on what acts might be booked. F that noise. I wouldn't spend $110 for that bullshit. Damn straight. That bullshit downtown. Over in the Daily MoJo chat room. Here's a meme. It's Pope Freebie 38. Delta Airlines praises pilot as the first woman to land a plane upside down.
Wow.
Well, it's true. I mean, credit where credit is due. She did, and everyone walked away from it, right? Right? I mean, doesn't she deserve some sort of an award? I would think so. Patrick G says, losing a job is one thing. Losing a security clearance changes everything going forward. Yeah. And after the after that chat that they were in, I'm not sure why we needed people with security clearances that were, you know what I'm saying. In any event, Ron.
Yes, Bradley.
Anyone told you did a fabulous job today?
No.
Maybe there's a reason for that. Remember, we the people must hang together, otherwise we shall surely hang separately. Sic Semper Tyrannis, resist stupid. Good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are. See you tomorrow.
Watch and listen at thedailymojo.com.